Well, welcome to Corona Online School Day 1. So, we're getting ready to start Chapter 10 today, which, as you can see, deals with length, measurement, area, volume, things like that throughout the chapter. So, mostly this chapter is going to be involved with doing unit conversions and things like that. So, I'm going to leave a lot of this work for you guys to do. So, if you look under the collaboration pane in your notebook, in your collaboration notebook, you'll be able to actually put in your answers so we can kind of check each other's works and stuff like that. So what I am going to do is kind of go through some of the things you may forget. And again, if there's other ones on there, you may have to look up some of the unit conversions. But some of the main ones that we're going to be using in this case is, 12 inches is the same thing as 1 foot. 1 yard is the same thing as 3 feet. Let's see. 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. 4 quarts is equal to 1 gallon. 2 pints is equal to 1 quart. Let's see, 16 ounces equals 1 cup. And 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. Now, I think that's about all you probably need, but again, if there's any that you still need, feel free to look them up online. But the idea is what you're going to do is try to take something from one unit to another. So, for example, if we have 60 inches equals how many feet? So in this case, we'd want to divide. Did that wrong. Hold on. So we'd want to divide 60 by the number of inches that are in a foot, which is 12, which tells us that 60 inches is the same thing as 5 feet. And then try to do the rest of those guys on your own. So feel free to reach out to me with questions if you get stuck on any. But again, feel free to post your answers in the collaboration space so that you can actually try some out. So I thought I'd jump down to some of the stuff that you may be a little less familiar with. So in this case, when we're talking about units of area, so 1 square foot, what would that look like in terms of inches? So in this case, since 1 foot and 12 inches are the same thing, if we wanted to know how many square inches were in a 1 foot square area, we would just do the 12 times the 12, which would give us 144 inches squared. And same thing, since 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, then 3 times 3 would give us 9 feet squared. So again, I'll kind of leave these for you guys to try to solve on your own. Again, share your answers in the collaboration space so we can check each other's work. So 1 foot cubed is equal to how many inches? So again, in this case, since we've got a three-dimensional shape, we're going to have a 12, a 12, and a 12. So we're going to multiply 12 times 12 times 12 to get our inches cubed. So in that case, we're going to get 144 times 12. So it looks like we're going to get 1,728 inches cubed. And then same thing with our yards to feet. So we'll have 3, 3, 3. So 3 times 3 times 3 gives us 27 feet cubed. So again, I'll leave these guys for you to try on your own. Feel free to ask me questions if you get stuck on any of them. Use the collaboration space. You can check each other's work. That would be good. So now we want to talk a little bit about metric. So in this case, the metric system, which makes it really nice compared to our system, everything's based on the 10 number system in this case. So when we're looking for the different weight measurements and things like that, usually the unit of length is the meter, and then what you're going to do is just attach whatever word in front. So you could have a decimeter, a centimeter, a millimeter, decameter, a hectometer, or a kilometer. So the unit of mass or weight would be the gram. And so again, we'd have decigram, centigram, milligram, decagram, hectogram, kilogram. And then finally, the unit of capacity is the liter. So again, for each one of these, we'd end up with like the deciliter, centiliter, milliliter. So just put whatever word in front, and that gives you the way to actually convert those guys. So again, the nice thing about when you're trying to go from one to another, since it's all base 10, all you're doing is kind of moving the decimal point either right or left, depending on where you're starting and where you're trying to go to. So in this case, if I was trying to do number 1, and I started off with 6 meters, which would be in the middle, so meters is always in the middle. And so if I want to go to kilometers, then that means I want to go 1, 2, 3. So I need to go 3 places to the left, so that means I want to move my decimal 3 places to the left. So in this case, I'm going to get 0.00, 1, 2, 3. So 0.006 kilometers. So again, that's kind of the nice thing. If you move, wherever you start, if you move to the right, you're going to move your decimal to the right. If you start somewhere, move to the left, move your decimal to the left. All right, so let's go back. Let's look at if we wanted to do 6 meters to millimeters. So again, we're going to start here in the middle, but now we're going 3 places to the right. So that means I'd want to add 3 decimal places to the right. So 6 meters is the same thing as 6,000 millimeters in this case. So again, that's kind of the main thing. Figure out where you're starting, which way you're trying to move, and get your answers from there. So again, if I was starting with, let's start with milligrams, say. So if let's say I was starting with number 4, 450 milligrams. So I'm going to be over here. And so I want to move to the grams position, which is going to be where the 1 is. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 to the left. So again, that means I want to move my decimal point 3 places to the left. So 1, 2, 3. So 0.450 grams would be my answer for that guy. All right. So again, I'm going to leave the rest of these for you guys to practice. So feel free, if you have questions, post up in the collaboration space and things like that. That would be perfect. All right. So a liter is the volume of cube whose sides are 10 centimeters. So in this case, notice that it's equivalent to centimeters cubed. So that means 1 liter would be the same thing as 10 times 10 times 10, or 1,000 centimeters cubed. So again, we can use this conversion to kind of go back and forth. So I'll leave that guy for you to work on. And so finally, for part 5, we've got 2 different scales for Fahrenheit and Celsius. So in this case, the system that we use is Fahrenheit. The metric system uses Celsius. And to convert things, what we want to do is use these formulas given below. So if we're starting with Celsius, we use the top formula. If we're starting with Fahrenheit, we use the bottom formula. Plug them into your calculator and simplify, or do them by hand and simplify. Oh, and by the way, what's the freezing point of water? So for our system, it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. For Celsius, it's 0 degrees Celsius. And for boiling point for us, it's 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And for Celsius, it would be 100 degrees. So again, you can even see, looking at these guys, their units even make a little bit more sense than ours does. So if we were going to simplify, say 25 degrees Celsius, so what we'd want to do is plug in 25 for C. So in this case, 5 goes into 25 5 times. So 9 times 5 is 45, plus 32, which gives us a Fahrenheit temperature of 77 degrees in this case. And if we wanted to do the same thing but in reverse, let's say we wanted to figure out what 86 degrees Fahrenheit was in Celsius, so we'd use the bottom formula. So C equals 5/9 86 minus 32. So 86 minus 32 is 54. So 9 goes into 54 6 times. So 5 times 6 would be 30 degrees Celsius. All right, again, ask questions if you have any questions or anything like that, but keep practicing. So for the next parts, 5 and 6, or 6 and 7, so I want you to go to the collaboration space, and there's a PowerPoint in there that I want you to watch, and then there's a Kahoot that I wanted you to do so you can kind of practice what's going on. And then finally, part 5, I know these are out of order, but it's very weird. So these are ones that if you go to the very bottom of the page, you'll see there's like a little practice quiz that you guys can take so you can practice some of these conversions and things like that. So again, post up in the collaboration space, chat with me on the Microsoft Teams spot. Just let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.